What is the first action if your vehicle catches fire? Get occupants to safety. The priority in a vehicle fire is ensuring the safety of all occupants. Get everyone away from the vehicle to a safe distance before attempting to deal with the fire. Why not the others? Extinguish the engine fire. Extinguishing the fire is important, but only after ensuring everyone is safe. Call breakdown service. Calling for assistance should only occur after everyone is at a safe distance from the vehicle. Retrieve vehicle documents. Saving lives takes precedence over retrieving documents from a burning vehicle. What does this sign mean? Hump bridge. This warning sign alerts drivers to a humpbacked bridge where the road surface rises steeply and visibility may be limited. It is not a swing bridge or tunnel, but a specific structure requiring reduced speed and caution when approaching. How long should you cool a burn with clean, cool water? At least 20 minutes. Cooling a burn with clean, cool water for at least 20 minutes helps to reduce skin temperature, minimizing tissue damage. This also provides pain relief. Why not the others? About 5 minutes. This is too short to effectively cool the burn and minimize tissue damage. Around 10 minutes. Insufficient time to properly cool the burn and alleviate pain. Until pain subsides. The pain may subside before the burn is adequately cooled, leading to potential tissue damage. When your vehicle breaks down, what should you first consider? Consider other road users. The priority when your vehicle breaks down is to assess the situation and ensure your breakdown doesn't pose a threat to other road users. This involves considering their presence and movements to prevent accidents. Why not the others? Place a warning triangle. Placing a warning triangle is important, but it's a secondary step after ensuring the safety of other road users. Turn on hazard lights. Activating hazard lights is useful for visibility, but it doesn't replace the initial assessment of the surroundings and potential dangers to other drivers. Wear reflective clothing. Wearing reflective clothing is important for your safety, but the immediate concern should be preventing accidents involving other road users. How does stopping distance in wet weather compare to dry roads? At least twice as long. Stopping distance is significantly increased in wet weather due to reduced friction between the tires and the road. It takes at least twice as long to stop on wet roads compared to dry roads. This is because the water reduces the grip of the tires. Why not the others? The same as dry roads. This is incorrect because wet roads reduce tire grip, increasing stopping distance. Half the distance. This is incorrect. Wet conditions always increase, never decrease, stopping distance due to less friction. 3 times as long. While stopping distance does increase, it is generally estimated to be at least double, not triple, the distance. What does this sign signify? Staggered junction. This sign indicates a staggered junction, where two side roads join the main road at different points. Drivers should be cautious and aware of traffic from both directions as they approach this type of junction. What does a broken white line on the road mark? The center of the road. A broken white line on the road marks the center of the road. These lines indicate that drivers can change lanes if it is safe to do so. Why not the others? The edge of the road. Solid white lines mark the edge of the road. A cycle lane. Cycle lanes are marked with a solid white line and a bicycle symbol. A bus lane. Bus lanes are marked with specific signage and road markings, often including the word bus. What is the best practice in congested conditions? Avoid unnecessary lane changes. In congested conditions, avoiding unnecessary lane changes is the best practice. Frequent lane changes can disrupt the flow of traffic and increase the risk of accidents. Why not the others? Merge at high speed unsafely. Merging at high speed in congested conditions is dangerous and can cause accidents. Always merge in turn promptly. While merging in turn is generally good, it may not always be feasible or safe in heavy congestion. Change lanes frequently. Changing lanes frequently disrupts traffic flow and increases accident risk. Considering safety, when is it acceptable to proceed? On amber? When crossed the stop line. Amber means stop at the stop line. You may go on only if the amber appears after you have crossed the stop line or are so close to it that to pull up might cause an accident. Which lane should you normally keep to on a motorway? The left lane. The left lane is for normal driving. You should only use the other lanes for overtaking. Once you have overtaken, you should move back to the left lane when it is safe to do so. Why not the others? The right lane. This lane is typically reserved for overtaking slower vehicles. It is not meant for continuous use. The middle lane. This lane is only for overtaking. You should return to the left lane when it is safe. Any lane. You should drive in the left lane unless overtaking. Avoiding unnecessary lane changes promotes safety. What does this sign mean? Road narrows on both sides. This warning sign indicates that the road narrows on both sides, meaning drivers should reduce speed and be prepared for less road space. It warns of potential hazards from reduced lane width or obstacles ahead. What does a double yellow line signify? No waiting at any time. Double yellow lines indicate that waiting is not allowed at any time. This restriction is in place to maintain traffic flow and ensure safety. Why not the others? Waiting allowed during certain hours. Double yellow lines mean no waiting at any time, differing from single yellow lines that have timed restrictions. Loading is permitted at all times. Double yellow lines prohibit waiting, which includes loading and unloading, unless there are specific signs indicating otherwise. Parking is permitted with a blue badge. Blue badge concessions usually do not apply where there are double yellow lines indicating a strict no waiting zone. After driving for 2 hours, what is the minimum recommended brake time? "15 minutes. A 15-minute brake is the minimum recommended brake time after driving for 2 hours. This helps ensure the driver remains alert and focused on the road. Why not the others? 30 minutes. While beneficial, it's longer than the minimum recommended time. 45 minutes. This is also longer than the minimum recommended brake time. 60 minutes. Although a longer brake could be more refreshing, it's not the minimum recommended time. What do double yellow lines indicate regarding waiting? Waiting prohibited at any time. Double yellow lines mean no waiting at any time. This applies to all vehicles and all days of the week. Why not the others? Waiting allowed with a time plate. Double yellow lines don't allow waiting based on time plates. Time plates usually apply to single yellow lines. Waiting allowed to load goods. Double yellow lines typically prohibit waiting for any reason, including loading goods, unless local signs indicate otherwise. Waiting allowed on Sundays. Double yellow lines apply at all times, including Sundays, unless signs state otherwise. When parking uphill, which action must you take? Turn wheels away from curb. Turning your wheels away from the curb when parking uphill will cause the vehicle to roll backwards into the curb if the brakes fail. This prevents it from rolling into traffic. Why not the others? Turn wheels toward curb. This is the procedure for parking downhill. Keep wheels straight. If the wheels are kept straight and the brakes fail, the car could roll straight into traffic. Leave wheels parallel to curb. Parallel wheels offer no resistance, and the vehicle will roll into traffic if the brakes fail. What does this sign signify? Uneven road. This sign warns of an uneven road surface ahead, which may cause discomfort or instability for vehicles. Drivers should slow down and be prepared for bumps or irregularities in the road that could affect vehicle control. When should you keep to the left? Unless signs indicate otherwise. Keeping to the left is the default rule, unless road signs or markings indicate otherwise. For example, you might need to move to the right to overtake or follow specific lane directions. Why not the others? Always, regardless of signs. This is incorrect because road signs can instruct you to do otherwise. Only on right-hand bends. This is incorrect because bends have nothing to do with what side of the road you drive on. Only when overtaking. This is incorrect because you should drive on the left side of the road, except when overtaking. What type of sign is mostly triangular? Warning. Warning signs are predominantly triangular to immediately alert drivers to potential hazards. The unique shape is easily recognizable, even at a distance, ensuring quick recognition of potential dangers ahead. Why not the others? Regulatory. Regulatory signs are usually rectangular and inform drivers of traffic laws. Informational. Informational signs vary in shape, but are often rectangular, providing guidance or information. Directional. Directional signs are typically rectangular, guiding drivers to specific locations. Which officer's signals must drivers obey? All officers. Drivers must obey signals from all officers, including police, DVSA, and traffic officers. These officers are authorized to direct traffic and ensure road safety. Why not the others? Police officers only. All officers are authorized to give signals, not just police officers. DVSA officers only. All officers are authorized to give signals, not just DVSA officers. Traffic officers only. All officers are authorized to give signals, not just traffic officers. When planning to drive, what is the best solution regarding alcohol? Not to drink at all. The safest approach to driving and alcohol is to not drink at all. Any amount of alcohol can impair driving ability, regardless of legal limits. Why not the others? Drink below legal limit. Even a small amount of alcohol can impair driving skills. Drink with food. Food can slow down alcohol absorption, but it doesn't eliminate impairment. Drink water. Water can help with hydration, but does not counteract the effects of alcohol on driving ability. What does this sign mean? Crossroads. This sign indicates an upcoming crossroads, where two or more roads meet. Drivers should be prepared to stop and give way, depending on the traffic control measures at the junction, and be alert for other vehicles and pedestrians. What is the best action if your vehicle breaks down? Get everyone clear immediately. The safest action when your vehicle breaks down is to immediately move everyone to a safe distance away from the vehicle and the road. This minimizes the risk of injury from passing traffic. Why not the others? Try to fix the vehicle yourself. Attempting to fix the vehicle yourself can be dangerous, especially on a busy road. Prioritize safety first. Wait for assistance inside the vehicle. Waiting inside the vehicle can be risky, as it exposes you to potential collisions from other vehicles. Call your insurance company first. While contacting your insurance company is important, your immediate priority should be ensuring the safety of yourself and your passengers. If waiting restrictions do not show the days, when are they enforced? Every day, including Sundays. If waiting restrictions don't specify particular days, they apply every day, including Sundays. This means the restriction is in effect 7 days a week. Why not the others? Weekdays only, excluding bank holidays. Restrictions that apply only on weekdays will typically be signposted to indicate this. Saturdays and Sundays only. Restrictions applying only on weekends would be explicitly indicated, excluding bank holidays. Unless specified, waiting restrictions apply on bank holidays as well. When should you return to the left lane? When overtaking. When it is safe to do so. Returning to the left lane after overtaking should only be done when it is safe. This ensures you don't cut off the vehicle you just passed and maintain a safe distance. Why not the others? Immediately after passing. This is unsafe, as you may cut off the overtaken vehicle. After driving 1 mile. This is impractical and potentially unsafe. Distance isn't the determining factor. When the speed limit changes. Speed limit changes are unrelated to safe lane merging after overtaking. What does a flashing red light at a level crossing indicate? You must stop. A flashing red light at a level crossing signals an immediate hazard, indicating that a train is approaching. Therefore, you must stop to avoid a collision. Why not the others? Proceed with caution. This is incorrect because a flashing red light indicates an immediate danger, requiring a complete stop, not just caution. Reduce speed and observe. This is incorrect because the signal requires an immediate stop, not just slowing down. Yield to oncoming traffic. This is incorrect because the signal is specifically for stopping due to an approaching train, not related to other vehicles. What does this sign indicate? End of dual carriageway. This sign indicates the end of a dual carriageway, meaning the road will no longer have separate lanes for traffic in each direction. Drivers should be prepared for changes in road layout and adjust their driving accordingly. When should you check your tire pressures? Weekly. Checking your tire pressures weekly ensures they are at the correct level. Correct tire pressure improves safety, fuel efficiency, and tire life. Regular checks can help identify slow punctures or leaks early. Why not the others? Monthly. Checking tire pressure monthly is not frequent enough to maintain optimal performance and safety. Annually. Checking tire pressure annually is far too infrequent and can lead to dangerous driving conditions. Every 6 months. Checking tire pressure every 6 months is also not frequent enough to ensure safety and efficiency. What does the B in DRABC stand for? Breathing. The B in DRABC stands for breathing. DRABC is a mnemonic used in first aid. It helps you remember the order in which to assess a casualty: danger, response, airway, breathing, circulation. Why not the others? Bleeding. While controlling bleeding is crucial in first aid, it's covered under the C for circulation in DRABC. Blood pressure. Blood pressure is an important vital sign, but it is not part of the initial DRABC assessment. Bystanders. Bystanders can be helpful in an emergency, but B in DRABC focuses on the casualty's immediate breathing status. Which is the safest place to stop on a motorway? Service area. A service area is the safest place to stop on a motorway. Service areas are designed for vehicles to stop safely, refuel, rest, and access facilities away from the traffic flow. Why not the others? Hard shoulder. The hard shoulder is for emergencies only, not for routine stops. Emergency area. Emergency areas are for emergencies only and should not be used for rest stops. Left lane. Stopping in the left lane is incredibly dangerous and illegal due to active traffic flow. On icy roads, how much greater can stopping distances be compared to dry roads? Ten times greater. On icy roads, the stopping distance can be 10 times greater than on dry roads due to the significantly reduced friction between the tires and the road surface. This makes it much harder to slow down or stop. Why not the others? Double the distance. This is incorrect because icy roads drastically reduce friction, requiring a much greater increase in stopping distance than just double. 3 times greater. This is incorrect because the reduction in friction on icy roads is far more significant, leading to a stopping distance much longer than 3 times the normal distance. 5 times greater. This is incorrect because icy conditions severely impair a vehicle's ability to stop, requiring a stopping distance that is much more than 5 times greater. What does this sign indicate? Risk of falling rocks. This sign warns of a risk of falling rocks ahead, typically on mountainous or hilly roads. Drivers should be alert, reduce speed, and be prepared to stop or navigate carefully through areas where rockfalls may occur. When should you use the middle lane on a 3-lane carriageway? Overtaking or turning right. Using the middle lane is appropriate when overtaking a slower vehicle or preparing to turn right. These situations require you to move away from the left lane temporarily. Why not the others? Driving normally in free-flow traffic. You should normally drive in the left lane, unless overtaking. Staying in the middle lane to match other vehicles. Remaining in the middle lane when not overtaking can cause congestion and is not proper lane discipline. Preparing to exit or turn off the carriageway. The right lane is typically used when preparing to exit or turn off the carriageway, not the middle lane. If you miss your motorway exit, what is the most appropriate action? Continue to the next exit. The safest course of action when you miss your motorway exit is to continue to the next exit. Trying to correct your mistake by reversing or crossing the central reservation is extremely dangerous due to the high speed of traffic. Why not the others? Reverse on the hard shoulder. Reversing on the hard shoulder is illegal and dangerous due to oncoming traffic. Cross the central reservation. Crossing the central reservation is illegal and extremely dangerous due to the high speed of traffic in both directions. Drive against the traffic flow. Driving against the traffic flow is illegal and creates a very high risk of head-on collisions. What should you do at open crossings with a give way sign? Look, listen, and ensure no train. At open crossings with a give way sign, you should look, listen, and ensure no train is approaching before proceeding. This ensures safety and prevents collisions with trains. It's similar to approaching any intersection. With a give way sign, you must check to ensure it is safe before proceeding. Why not the others? Proceed with caution and cross. This is incorrect because proceeding with caution is not enough. You must positively ensure no train is coming. Sound your horn and cross quickly. This is incorrect because sounding your horn doesn't guarantee a train won't approach, and crossing quickly could be dangerous if a train is near. Call the signal operator before crossing. This is incorrect because it's not practical or necessary to call the signal operator at every open crossing. The give way sign indicates you must assess the situation yourself. Which statement best describes the relationship between medicines and driving? Some medicines impair driving ability. Some medicines can cause side effects like drowsiness or blurred vision, which impair a person's ability to drive safely. For example, antihistamines can cause drowsiness. Why not the others? All medicines improve driving ability. This is incorrect because many medicines can impair driving ability due to side effects. Medicines never affect driving ability. This is incorrect because some medicines can have side effects that make driving dangerous. Only illegal drugs impair driving. This is incorrect because some legal prescription and over-the-counter medicines can also impair driving. What does this sign mean? Road narrows on right. This sign warns that the road narrows on the right, indicating that drivers should be prepared to adjust their position or speed as they approach the narrowing. It helps prevent accidents by alerting drivers to reduced lane space ahead. When should arm signals be used? When indicators fail or aren't visible. Arm signals should be used when your vehicle's direction indicators are not functioning or are difficult to see. This ensures other road users are aware of your intentions to turn or stop. Why not the others? Only during daylight hours. Arm signals can and should be used at any time of day when your indicators are not working. Only on motorways. Arm signals are not specific to motorways and can be used on any road. When visibility is clear. Arm signals are useful when visibility is clear, but their primary use is when indicators are not working, regardless of visibility. What do countdown markers at a motorway exit represent? "100 yards to the exit." Countdown markers appear on the left-hand side of the road as you approach a motorway exit. Each marker represents 100 yards to the exit, helping drivers gauge the remaining distance. There are usually 3 markers, then 2, and finally 1 before the exit. Why not the others? 50 yards to the exit. Countdown markers indicate distances in 100-yard increments, not 50. 200 yards to the exit. Each countdown marker represents 100 yards, not 200 yards. 500 yards to the exit. The markers are spaced at 100-yard intervals, not 500. When parking downhill, which action must you take? Turn wheels toward curb. When parking downhill with a curb, turning the wheels toward the curb ensures that, if the vehicle begins to roll, the curb will stop the tyre, preventing it from rolling into traffic. Why not the others? Turn wheels away from curb. This is incorrect, because if the brakes fail, the car will roll into traffic. Keep wheels straight. This is incorrect, because the car could roll straight into traffic if the brakes fail. Use parking brake only. This is incorrect, because relying solely on the parking brake might not be sufficient, as the brake could fail. When should you check blind spots before moving off? After checking mirrors. Checking your mirrors first gives you an initial awareness of your surroundings. Then, checking blind spots confirms that the adjacent lane is clear before you move. This two-step process ensures a safe departure. Why not the others? Before checking mirrors. Mirrors provide the initial awareness, and blind spots offer a final check. Only when visibility is poor. Blind spots should be checked regardless of visibility conditions. Only when turning. Blind spots should be checked before any lateral movement, not just turns. What does this sign indicate? Swing bridge. This sign indicates a swing bridge, which can rotate or pivot to allow ships to pass through. Drivers must be aware that the bridge may open, potentially causing delays, or requiring them to stop for a while. At what distance must you be able to read a vehicle number plate from? "20 meters. You must be able to read a vehicle number plate from 20 meters away. This is a standard requirement to ensure visibility and legibility for identification purposes. Why not the others? 15 meters. This distance is too short and doesn't provide enough visibility for accurately reading the plate under various conditions. 25 meters. This distance is unnecessarily long and not the standard requirement. 30 meters. This distance exceeds the required visibility range for reading a number plate. What should drivers do at the start of contraflow systems? Slow down and increase distance. When entering a contraflow system, drivers should reduce their speed to allow more time to react to unexpected situations and increase the distance between their vehicle and the one ahead to have sufficient stopping distance. Why not the others? Maintain speed and distance. Maintaining speed in a potentially congested and altered traffic pattern is unsafe. Speed up and shorten distance. Speeding up and reducing following distance in a contraflow situation is dangerous and increases the risk of accidents. Maintain speed and decrease distance. Decreasing distance reduces reaction time and increases the risk of collision. When joining a motorway, Which action best ensures safety? Match speed to traffic flow. Matching your speed to the traffic flow on the motorway is crucial for seamlessly integrating without disrupting other vehicles. This minimizes the risk of collisions and promotes a smooth transition onto the motorway. Why not the others? Stop on the slip road. Stopping on the slip road can cause rear-end collisions and obstruct other vehicles attempting to join the motorway. Cross solid white lines immediately. Solid white lines indicate lane boundaries and should not be crossed immediately as it's unsafe. Maintain constant slow speed. Maintaining a constant slow speed can disrupt the flow of traffic and increase the risk of being rear-ended. What is tailgating? Following too closely. Tailgating means following another vehicle too closely. This is dangerous because it reduces the time you have to react if the vehicle in front of you stops suddenly. Why not the others? Driving at high speed. Speeding is not tailgating. It's about exceeding the speed limit. Overtaking dangerously. This involves passing another vehicle in an unsafe manner, not following too closely. Driving without lights. This refers to operating a vehicle without headlights or taillights, which is different from tailgating. What does this sign signify? Side road. This sign indicates the presence of a side road joining the main road. Drivers should be cautious as vehicles may be entering or leaving the road, and they may need to yield or adjust their speed accordingly. In road markings, what does a solid white line nearest to you indicate? Must not cross or straddle it. A solid white line indicates that you should not cross the line or drive with the line directly under the vehicle. This marking is used to prevent drivers from moving into adjacent lanes where it could be dangerous. Why not the others? May cross to overtake. This is incorrect because solid white lines are specifically designed to prevent lane changes for safety, and overtaking requires crossing into another lane. Cross only in emergencies. While you might cross a solid white line in a dire emergency, this is not the standard rule. The primary instruction is to not cross it. Cross to enter premises. Generally, you should not cross a solid white line to enter premises. If necessary, you should find a break in the line or another legal entry point. What should you reduce in slow-moving traffic? Distance to vehicle ahead. In slow-moving traffic, you should reduce the distance to the vehicle ahead. This helps maintain a consistent flow and prevents large gaps that can encourage other drivers to cut in, further disrupting the traffic flow. Why not the others? Speed to a crawl. Reducing speed excessively can impede traffic flow and potentially lead to rear-end collisions. Lane changes. Frequent lane changes in slow traffic can be disruptive and increase the risk of accidents. Music volume. Adjusting music volume does not directly impact safety or traffic flow in slow-moving conditions. What lights must be lit between sunset and sunrise? Side lights and rear registration plate lights. Side lights and rear registration plate lights must be lit between sunset and sunrise to ensure the vehicle is visible to others and the registration plate is illuminated for identification. This is a legal requirement for safety. Why not the others? Headlights and fog lights. Fog lights are only to be used when visibility is seriously reduced. Only headlights. Side lights and rear registration plate lights are also required. Only side lights. Rear registration plate lights are also a must. What should you cover a burn with, if available? Cling film. Cling film is ideal for covering burns because it's non-adhesive, sterile, and can help retain moisture, which promotes healing and reduces the risk of infection. It also allows the wound to breathe. Why not the others? Cotton wool. Cotton wool is not suitable, as its fibers can stick to the burn, causing further damage. Adhesive bandage. Adhesive bandages can stick to the burn and cause damage when removed. It is also not ideal for larger burn areas. Sterile gauze. While sterile gauze can be used, it may stick to the burn. Cling film is preferred for its non-adhesive properties.